Roland Mumford with Mumford.law. Can you imagine having your child at elementary school and teachers form a barricade around her? Then an SRO takes her to a principal's office. She says she's hungry. She's not allowed to eat. And then the staff eats in front of her. That's what I'm here to talk about today. This involves a matter here actually local to me here in Nashville, Tennessee. This is regarding an elementary school in Williamson County, Tennessee, probably the most wealthy county in the state of Tennessee. This involves a young child at an elementary school who apparently had some little disagreement that children have at a table in the cafeteria. Apparently, then 4 or 5 staff members approached the situation, confront the young child, and according to the SRO, a barricade was formed by the staff members around this young child. Apparently appalled by what occurred, the SRO then picks up the child and a very fast pace takes the child to the principal's office or the assistant principal's office. And then in that office, we don't have the body cam footage, but the news channel played a little bit of it, but it's blurred out. Apparently and allegedly, this young child claimed to be hungry and the staff didn't give her any food, ate in front of her. And then one of the staff members, perhaps a teacher, took the child's shoes off and threw them in the room. And the shocking thing is I was not appalled by this. I have sued a number of school boards in the state of Tennessee, from issues of putting young autistic children into a jail cell all the way up to suing a school in East Tennessee for a bullying where a young lady committed suicide, and that was due to the deliberate indifference of the school. I can tell you that school boards in Tennessee, particularly locally here to me, are beyond arrogant. They think that parents are a nuisance when parents attempt to confront a school administrator about what has occurred with their child, particularly if it's bullying or special education students. These school boards, administrators consider these children nuisances. They consider parents nuisances, and they practically will help you fill out the form to withdraw the child from the school and have you homeschool them. I have experienced it. I have been in meetings with school principals and school attorneys talking about a very bullying incident that occurred to a young man. And I will never forget that meeting with that principal, how arrogant he was and indifferent, and actually made the parents out to be the nuisance and was defending this particular kid. That was the bully. They hire corporate attorneys to defend them who are beyond arrogant. And that is the state of school boards, at least in Tennessee, but I would probably allege across the country. So let's watch this news video. And then afterwards, we'll review the article by the news station and have an attorney reaction.
A family is suing Williamson County Schools over how they handled an incident with their daughter the last week of school. WSMV's Courtney Allen has the video.
The family says their daughter is traumatized from an incident that happened here the last week of school, and they hope that sharing their story will keep something similar from happening to other students.
She said that if she could, she would warn all of her friends.
Aaron and Sean Broderick say their 6-year-old daughter hasn't been the same since the last week of kindergarten.
Every time she thinks about the event, she circles the number 10. On a scale of 1 out of 10, how angry are you?
The event started when their daughter had a disagreement with another student in the cafeteria at Longview Elementary School in Springhill. The parents recorded this video during a meeting with the district about it.
We felt sick.
It shows school staff surrounding their daughter. In an incident report, the school resource officer described it as a, quote, barricade with at least 5 staff members to prevent escape.
Get out of here. That could justify it.
The SRO then carries the child from the cafeteria and into the principal's office. The family obtained the SRO's body camera footage from the Williamson County Sheriff's Office.
You're not using a very big brain to hit a police officer.
Staff takes the child's shoes off and throws them, eats in front of her after she said she was hungry, and puts her in a corner. We're going to sit right back. The family has now filed a lawsuit against the district alleging negligence and believe it would be harder to prove their case if this had happened in a classroom where there are no cameras. Earlier this year, Tennessee lawmakers considered providing funding for districts to add cameras to classrooms, but it never happened. People against the measure have concerns over privacy and impact on the learning environment. Erin is a former teacher.
We need camera footage because states are taking away cell phones. They're taking away every technology piece from children, and then they also don't have cameras. Doggy daycares have cameras. Children daycares have cameras.
While their daughter continues trauma therapy twice a week, the Broadocks want to know why, to their knowledge, all of the staff members involved, other than the principal, are still with Williamson County Schools.
If these people continue to have influence in the school district, what's to stop this from happening again?
A district spokesperson told us their human resources department is still investigating. Courtney Allen, WSMV4.
All right, so that was the video by local news channel 4, WSMV. And here's the article. Let's take a look at this. So we've got a family suing Williamson County Schools over how they handled an incident with their daughter the last week of school. They discuss how their daughter was traumatized and hopes sharing their story will keep something similar from happening to other students. I can tell you that going to the news media about local school boards, at least in Tennessee, it doesn't matter. It doesn't accomplish anything. The deliberate indifference of school board members, the school administrators, it doesn't matter. So this involved a young 6-year-old girl who was in kindergarten. Apparently, every time she thinks about it, I guess she's maybe seeing a counselor or something. She's writing circles the letter 10 on a scale of 1 out of 10 about how angry she is. So apparently the event started when their daughter had a little disagreement with another student in the cafeteria at Longview Elementary School in Springhill. The video shows that school staff surrounded their daughter. And this is what's interesting here. This is why I do these news articles, because I want to get the quotes. It's very specific. It's a little bit easier to follow. In the incident report, the school resource officer described it as a barricade. Those were his words. With at least 5 staff members to prevent escape. Imagine a young 6-year-old girl being barricaded by school staff members, and she feels the need to escape. The SRO then carries the child from the cafeteria into the principal's office. The family obtained the SRO's body camera footage from the sheriff's office. I think they play a little bit of that in this news video. I wish I could get my hands on that video, but with it being a minor child, there's a lot of sensitivity around that. Probably wouldn't show that. In this body cam video, it is alleged that the staff member is seen taking the child's shoes off and throwing them, and then eating in front of her as she said she was hungry and putting her in a corner. They filed a lawsuit. They filed it in a local state court alleging negligence. Because at first I thought this might be a Section 1983 civil rights case because the SRO had been involved, but as I started looking into this more, it looks like maybe the SRO was the hero here. They believe it would be harder to prove their case if the incident had happened in a classroom where there were no cameras. That's something else that I wanted to discuss about this matter and the larger issue of cameras in classrooms. And I think these parents bring up the great point that you can view your dog at a place where people will take care of your dogs while you're traveling, and you can log in on your phone and see them, and you can do the same thing at a daycare center. But yet in a school, you can't observe your children on camera. And the Tennessee legislature apparently did not pass a bill that would have allowed for cameras in the classrooms. And I think that this is absolutely necessary, because the only reason they caught this incident on camera was because of the cameras in the hallways of the school, not in the classroom. So if you've got abuse going on in a classroom, you want cameras in there for the proof. I just recently had a matter in Savannah, Georgia, where that got quite a bit of attention in the media, where something happened to a young special needs child. And what was alleged? We didn't have video of it because there was no camera. It says that earlier this year, Tennessee lawmakers considered providing funding for districts to add cameras, but it didn't happen. And I'll tell you why. The school boards fought it because they want to avoid liability. Going back to that arrogance that I was discussing. This young child's been going to trauma therapy twice a week, apparently. And this news channel reporter asked the school district about de-escalation policies and training. And as usual, somebody says, I don't have that information, but I will try to find out. Guys, thank you very much. Please click like, share, and subscribe. Let's get to that 10,000 subscriber goal by July 30th. Have a great day.